word that I would use to best describe the gas passer is finicky. To be completely honest, this thing is not very reliable, used in really any mode, but especially when it's used in just normal casual matches, it's not only unreliable, but also very, very not useful. However, there is an application to this weapon that makes it very, very useful, but also still similarly finicky in man versus machine mode. But before we do that, I almost forgot. We need to go over the stats. The description reads, creates a horrific visible gas that coats enemies with flammable material, which doubles afterburn damage and extends its duration. It also ignites enemies normally if they take non-fire damage, even enemy pyros. This description is partially unclear because, well, really it's just a personal confusion, because does the afterburn do damage during the time in which you are flaming somebody, or does it only damage somebody after you take? Either way, another confusing thing about this is that they had to make this very curious ending description that says also ignites enemies normally if they take non-fire damage. This is kind of like a legal disclaimer where it's like you can't, single any one single person out, but we all know it's obviously pyro. But it also makes me wonder if it will allow you to burn somebody anyways, even if they're using, say, the Spicicle. I'm a little bit too lazy to test it out. The in-game stats, though, aren't really what I'm going to be focusing on here. In MVM, there's a counter where you can upgrade any of the weapons that you have equipped. If you happen to choose the gas passer and go to the upgrades for it, you are given an option to make an upgrade called Explode on Ignite. As the name suggests, if you throw down the gas passer and ignite it with your flamethrower, what's supposed to happen is that any robots within the vicinity of that gas cloud are supposed to explode, given that they're at a certain level or they're at a certain size. See, this can be extremely useful, especially when you have a couple of Uberbots on the way or an extremely large pack of smaller robots that would otherwise steamroll your entire team unless you had, maybe Demo in the corner throwing a bunch of sticky bombs down as an alternative. However, as I mentioned earlier, this weapon can be a little bit finicky. You see, the description reads Explode on Ignite, but oftentimes there's not really an indicator of what specific time you are allowed to make an ignition for this thing to happen. If you throw it down too early, then the gas cloud will, seemingly evaporate before you can actually start to ignite it. And if you throw it too late, then the crowd of robots or the Uberbot that you are facing up against will kill you before you get the chance to throw down some fire. However, I have found that if you happen to throw this gas can down around a crowd of pyro robots, they'll practically ignite it themselves and destroy themselves in the process. The gas passer, in my opinion, is actually very similar to a weapon like the loose cannon. You see, the weapon isn't made to be effective, it's made to be satisfying and also gratifying. But much like the loose cannon, you'll likely get yourself in a couple of situations where it doesn't exactly work as intended, and I think that that's part of the charm. All in all, I really do like this weapon. I like its uses, and I think that this weapon will be a solid meta in MVM for the rest of this game's life, and for that, I'd give this weapon a 7.5 out of 10. Thank you all for watching this weapon review episode. If you liked this video, or just like the channel in general, why don't you go ahead and press that subscribe button for me. Or maybe leave a like or leave a comment, or just being here throughout the entire video helps just as much. Also, by the way, I think I will be moving into playing other video games as well. I am currently working on a video about a game that's in the new meta called That's Not My Neighbor. I don't think I'll be particularly entertaining in it, but if you want to see that, y'all know what to do. Thank you all, and I'll see you in the next video.